Welcome back to Ozarks Live. We are back again to talk about the race around the world. And this week I'm joined by a very special guest, my friend Carissa. Thanks so much for being here.
You are so welcome. I'm so excited.
Now, I have to ask, have you watched The Amazing Race before?
No, I haven't. I'm a rookie.
Okay.
And I didn't even know what it was,
okay.
to be honest,
okay.
whenever you asked me.
This makes this even more exciting. So what were your general thoughts watching these first few episodes?
So the first episode, I was kind of confused. I was like, okay, so they're racing for something.
Yep.
Don't know what it's about, but it seems cool. Like they seem to be really into it.
Yes.
And it's cool to go to another country, but I was like, I don't know what is really happening.
Yeah, it's very exciting. I would love to do this show if ever given the opportunity.
Oh, yeah.
But Kim and I talked about this last week a lot. I think picking your partner is like who you do it with is probably the most important part.
Yes.
And I think we see a lot of that in the premiere, but also in this last week's episode as well. So let's get right into it. So episode 2, here we are, right? So they're leaving London, hopping on the train to Glasgow.
Yeah.
And let me just say, that train looked kind of fun, but very crammed. If it was not like my romantic partner, I would be very uncomfortable in that tight of a space with somebody else.
And those flight attendants, they had such an advantage there because
Absolutely.
they were like, this is exactly like our bunks that we have to sleep in all the time. And I was wondering, are those trains actually that crammed, or was that just like a psychological thing by the show?
Okay, I don't know. That's a good.
That's like to me, if I was trying to mess somebody up on the show, I would be like, yeah, you're gonna stay real close to this person for like the next couple of days.
Yeah. So there's that, and then when they arrive to Glasgow, they get in cars and it's stick shift. And let me just say, I have no idea how to drive stick shift. I would be absolutely clueless. Like Ray and Carol, Ray kept like stalling the car. That would be me, but I don't even know if the car would move. It would be really, really rough.
My mom, the way that she learned how to drive a stick, her dad took her on a boat ramp. They went halfway down it, and then he put it in park. They switched, and he said, okay, get us out of this situation. Don't put us in the lake. And I still feel like that would be less stressful than The Amazing Race. It was so...
That seems like a lot.
It was, yeah, that's a lot. The Amazing Race was a lot. First of all, you have to drive on the left side of the road.
Yeah, which would also be confusing because you're driving like this, which would be weird, you know, opposite of us.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, so
oh
like
my
your
gosh.
stick wouldn't even be on the right side, which is what would be natural for us. So it just makes it even that much more confusing.
Are they all like lefties over there?
I don't know, I guess.
Across the pond? I don't know.
So. I don't know how that works. But, okay, so something that was crossing my mind a lot watching this episode is that I wonder how, like, real the difficulty level of these challenges is, because that first roadblock where they had to assemble the bagpipe and then, like, play a note throughout, when I first saw that, I was like, that's really hard. That is really tough. But then they all did it so fast. So I was like, was it really that challenging? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I want to know, like, how long it actually took them.
Yes.
But also, I was looking at that challenge and I was thinking, I could do that. Like, I could do that.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know why I feel like I could assemble the bagpipes.
Yeah.
But I feel like I could do it.
Well, and it was funny because the part of like having to hold the note, that's the part that seemed difficult to me, but then they all did it really smoothly. So I was like, okay, maybe that wasn't as hard as it seems.
I was confused. Yeah, did they have to hold that the entire length of that song?
I guess so, just like the one note, which is quite strange.
But could you take a breath?
I don't know.
Oh,
I guess we'll have to find out.
We would not do well.
I'm not sure. Yeah, we would not do well. We would totally have so much fun if we were partners on the show, but we would tank really fast.
It would be the best time.
It would be so much fun. Okay, now I have to ask, when it came to the detour on this episode, you either did the kilt or the rebuild. So essentially, you either had to like dress in like traditional Scottish wear and do this little song and dance, which actually looked really fun, or you had to do the like rebuild thing where you had to like disassemble this like whiskey barrel and put it back together. Which one do you think you would do?
I would do and succeed in the barrel.
You think so?
I think I just would like really go at the barrel.
Yeah.
It seems like that's my type of challenge.
Absolutely, yeah. I could see that for you, yeah.
For you, can I just say I think that you'd choose the kilt?
I think I would too.
Yeah, and I think you would do very well.
Well, thank you. But I have to say, I think, once again, I think it's so dependent on who your partner is, because I was thinking, like, if it was my girlfriend and I, we would so kill the song and dance, because that's kind of like what we did growing up. But then, like, I guess it would depend on maybe who else was my potential partner, and then maybe I would pick the rebuild one, because maybe that would be like their strong suit, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I was like, I don't know. I don't know how that would go.
And we saw a couple of the couples fall apart.
Yes.
From that challenge.
Yes. So much so that Arun and Natalia, who are father-daughter, they do the rebuild. They do so bad at it that they give up and they move over to the kilt, which ultimately is their demise. They are eliminated from this leg, which is really, really sad. I was really rooting for them, especially over Akbar and Cherie, the married educators, because he is so mean to his wife. I said that last week and I still stand by that. He was awful. I was like, no, I'm not a fan of that.
But I noticed that he's also very harsh on himself. Whenever he was assembling the bagpipes, he was very harsh on himself too. And I'm wondering if that projects. How good of a partner can you be though? If that's the type, like if you're under stressful situations and you go through that, I would have much rather been with Natalia.
Yeah, no, for sure. I'll be interested to see how that impacts them moving forward. Now, speaking of moving forward, so at the end of the episode, we finally land on the part where they are shutting down the show. Phil says, this is no longer safe. We're no longer doing this. And then they fast forward 19 months later and they're in Switzerland all of a sudden. Now, in my opinion, the biggest plot twist of the entire episode is that at the last leg, there's 9 teams left. And when they arrive in Switzerland, they're running up to the new, I guess, start of the leg. There's 5 teams. So 4 of our previous teams are gone, which is crazy. So literally like half of the racers are gone. Now, I will say, I don't know why all of them left, but I know that Connie and Sam, who do not return, they had a baby. They were pregnant, which is super exciting.
That's so cute. Okay.
And Caro and Ray, the super toxic Love Island couple, they broke up. So that's why they left, yes.
Do not get me started on them because that was the next toxic couple that needed to go.
Yes, it was very rough. So as far as Isaiah and Tyler and Stephanie and Anthony, which I'm really sad, Steven and Anthony, I'm really sad they left. They were the 2 guys who helped attack the kind of terrorist attackers on the Paris train. I don't know why they didn't come back, but I'm really sad about it. So
because they were front runners. They were doing very well.
They were very high up every time.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll see what happens. Carissa, thanks so much for being here.
Oh, anytime.
Okay. As always, you guys can watch tonight's episode of The Amazing Race right here on Color 10, and you can catch up on this season and all the old seasons on Paramount Plus or CBS.com.
We'll be right back.